preview of I-70. Sunday afternoon baseball. The Rockies and San Francisco Giants. Rockies have won 5 of the first 9 against the Giants here in 2016. Colorado comes in 23 up, 25 down. The Giants leading the division at 31-20. 6.5 games separate the Rockies from the Giants. Chris Russin, Michigander, making his way to the Coors Field mound. The 29-year-old will take on the Giants today, and here's the lineup he will see. At the top of the Southwest batting order for Bruce Bochy will be Denard Span. He was a late scratch yesterday with a right hip contusion. That was suffered a few days ago in the Padres series, but he's back in there today. Kelby Tomlinson's really been swinging it well against lefties. Duffy, Posey, 6 ribbies yesterday. Hunter Pence, Brandon Belt was 3 for 5 yesterday. Brandon Crawford, Gregor Blanco, and Johnny Cueto in year number 1 with the Giants. So we are set for baseball. Chris Russin, you know he's going to compete, and Huey, he's got to be very, very fine with his delivery and his sequences.
And for Chris Russin, that's usually not the problem. It's when for him, he's got to make sure that he stays on that corner, one side or the other, cut the fastball. But for Chris, I think he's in a very good spot right now. In his last 10+ innings, only giving up 2 earned runs. 2 of those runs were in the start. His last outing in the relief role, very sharp.
Yeah, the first pitch of the ball game studied by Denard Span. It is in there for strike 1. Span in career game number 999. As you look at Russin's arsenal, not a hard thrower. That's what we're talking about. He's got to live on the edges and change speeds and use his entire arsenal.
And he's not afraid to throw that entire arsenal here at Coors Field. It works for him. The curveball works, the changeup, the cut fastball. And that's why you'll see sometimes when they're not quite on the same page early on the game, at least, what feels comfortable for him to throw.
And a base hit, a fastball that was misplaced. You could tell Walters, he went through every sign. He wanted fastball away, and that was fastball in. And Denard Span hits it hard into right field for a base hit.
And even before Cargo picked that ball up in right field, Chris Russin was motioning for Tony to come on out. They wanted to talk about it. Set up away on the Subaru Supermo, and that ball creeps back inside. Was not a good location where Tony had set up and where the pitch ended up.
74 degrees our game time temperature as Kelby Tomlinson steps in. You know, Russin's going to have even extra motivation today in facing the Giants, because he was on the hill in the game where the Rockies scored 13 in 1 inning and had 17 up, and all he needed to do was get through the 5th inning, obviously, to earn a victory, and he couldn't get out of the bottom of the 5th inning, and unfortunately Walt had to go get him. And he did not get the win that day. The Rockies won the game 17-7. But he went just 4 in a 30, gave up 7 runs on 13 hits.
And that was after that big explosion of runs the Rockies had.
Tomlinson slices one near the line. Cargo's going to get there. Initially, I didn't know if he'd have a chance on that. 1 out.
Third baseman, number 5.
Rockies have played solid defense all year, better than solid in fact. Parra, Blackman, and Cargo in the outfield. Story and Arenado, LeMahieu, and Reynolds in the infield. DJ back in there. He had yesterday off. Tony Walters had yesterday off. Dustin Garneau did the catching against Madison Bumgarner. 1 out, 1 on. And here's Matt Duffy. Duffy yesterday was on base 3 times, which for the Giants was a good thing because of the day Buster Posey had, hitting a couple of 3-run home runs. It's one of Matt's better road games this year. He's hitting just $1.33 on the road so far this year. They got him picked off. Reynolds, good throw, and Span is gone at second. So Russin picked him off. It goes as a caught stealing. 1, 3, 6, 2 outs.
5th time this year Denard Span has been caught stealing. He was going first movement, so he was just hoping that Chris would deliver the baseball home. Strong throw from Mark Reynolds to Trevor Story. Watch how Mark clears himself. Gets really inside of the base runner, allowing Trevor to catch it and apply the tag on the Subaru Supermo.
Pretty important there to go meet the baseball.
You have to close distance if you're the first baseman.
So a textbook job by Mark Reynolds. And 2 outs, nobody on. Duffy at the plate with a 1-0 count. Duffy last year finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting to Chris Bryant. And on one hop, it's smothered there by LeMahieu, and it turns into a solid first frame for Chris Russell. So we'll see the Rockies against Johnny Cueto when we come back to Coors Field. Blackman, he'll try to the Rockies jump start as he typically does. 307 batting average for Charlie, driven in 19 with 3 home runs. Southwest batting order on the Sunday afternoon for Walt Weiss. DJ LeMahieu will be in the 2 spot. Carr goes, we mentioned, back in the 3-hole in front of Nolan. Then Gerardo Parra, Mark Reynolds, Trevor Story for the 3rd time this week in the 7 spot. Tony Walters will bat 8th in front of the good hitting pitcher Chris Russell. A lot of the guys, you see Parra, have pretty good numbers against Johnny Cueto, which is unusual because Johnny Cueto has a low 3 career ERA. He's won more than 100 games. He's more than 30 games over 500 in his career. And of course, this is year 1 of a 6-year deal with the Giants. And that's what he does better than anybody in the game right now, Huey.
71.3% of the time, first pitch strikes. Best in baseball, and that allows him to work ahead.
That's what a sharply hit with Brandon Belt. Gloves it, 1 out. Giants have committed just 21 errors all year. Gregor Blanco, Denard Span at center. Pence is in right. And it's Duffy and Crawford on the left side. Crawford just 1 error. He's a Gold Glove winner. Kelby Tomlinson at second. Belt, really good hands at first for the former University of Texas star. And Buster Posey on Friday was playing first. Yesterday he was behind the plate. 1 out, and here's LeMahieu. In your career, Huey, did somebody come to mind that was like Cueto, where they kind of varied their motion from pitch to pitch and therefore made it difficult? This ball is launched to left center field. We'll get back to that thought in a moment. 1 hop off the wall. LeMahieu has a 1-out double. So the quick pitch there didn't affect him.
No, and for Cueto, he'll do this. He'll quick pitch. We see Chris Russell do it. 9th double this season for DJ. Tried to quick pitch him. All that meant was DJ's going to speed up the bat and hit it into left center field. 4-seam fastball. The Subaru Supermo, he clips it right on the sweet spot of the bat. For DJ, just keeps motoring right along. Average over 300 still.
And he's got an 8-game hitting streak. The DJ, we always describe him as pretty quiet, but he's also very fiery.
To answer your question real quick, Kevin Brown would do this occasionally like Cueto, where he turns his back almost like Louis Tion used to do. Kevin Brown would do that too on occasion.
Here's Cargo. Out in front of the plate. This is going to be a tough play for Cueto. Got it.
Yeah, if Cueto does not field this, that's a base hit, because Buster's not going to be able to come out, spin, and throw and make it before Cargo gets there. One more look at it.
Number 28.
And ball and glove.
Rockies will not challenge.
Yeah, right call by C.B. Buckner.
Nolan with 38 RBIs. Get the Rockies out in front of Johnny Cueto. Cueto has given up just 20 runs this year. If there's been a problem inning, it has been the first inning. 7 of the 20 runs have come in the first. In fact, 11 of the 20 runs have come in 2 innings, period. Sliders low. Nolan has 168 RBIs since the start of last season, which is 14 more than the next best individual that's pulled foul in Major League Baseball, and 28 more than anybody in the National League over that span. He also has 56 home runs, which is more than anybody in the National League in that span, trailing only Chris Davis, who has 57.
And I'm sure the Giants are saying, what, 3/4 of those have come against us. That's not true, but he does hit the Giants very well.
Well, at Coors Field against the Giants, he has 34 RBIs in 33 career games. This year he's batting .395 against Bochy's team, 3 home runs and 17 driven in, including 2 big ones yesterday on that double off the top of the right center field fence that was followed up by Cargo's 2-run home run to dead center to give the Rockies, unfortunately, a short-lived 5-4 lead. The Rockies are due, Huey, to have some success against Cueto. Cueto comes in having gone 18 in the third scoreless innings against the Rockies in his last 4 against Colorado, 2-0 with a 1.11 ERA.
And that includes a start here earlier at Coors Field where he went 8 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits but 0 runs, and was really just a dominating force that day.
2-2, and this is on the ground to Crawford. He's going to get out of it. So the Rockies get a 1-out double from LeMahieu, cannot cash it in. No scores. We go to the second.
No score here in the top of the second. I'm Brad Thompson with you here at Coors Field. Thanks for joining us. The Rockies have been in a really tough stretch right now, 27 straight games. Walt Weiss is proud of his team, has handled it. They've faced 5 straight playoff contending teams, and Walt Weiss has liked how his team has handled it.
The schedule has been brutal, to be quite honest, the last month. But I feel like we've come through it very well. I think historically, a month like we've had schedule-wise would have killed us. I mean, we'd be in really bad shape right now.
The Rockies are in the middle of a 27 straight day stretch right now. Hopefully things will lighten up. Tomorrow the Reds come in for 4 straight. Their next day off, guys, not till June 13th.
Yeah, it is a very difficult stretch, Brad, but that's Major League Baseball, and every team, you know, goes through these periods where they're playing a lot of contending teams, and ultimately, if you want to be one of those teams, you got to beat those teams. This ball's lined by Posey to left center field. Parr trying to cut it off, cannot. So Posey picks right up where he left off yesterday.
The only difference this time is he decided to pull the ball and instead of hit it to right center field. Cut fastball into Buster Posey. Or even if he cuts this off, I mean, his momentum's carrying him so far that way that Buster was going to get to second base. So he just let it go, went and picked it up. Now you got the ever dangerous Hunter Pence. But to get to follow up one final thought on the stretch of games the way it is, and you know, you're always going to run into these, but sometimes it's not who you play, but it's when you play them. Think about this team, how hot they are. Boston, how hot they were. Pittsburgh was winning at home. So that, I mean, yeah, you have to play these games. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you, but it's when do you play?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's also sometimes how the rotation matches up. You know, you roll in and play a top flight team. Take the Giants, for instance. Do you get the front of their rotation, or you get the back of their rotation?
And that's just luck of the draw. I mean,
you know, these 2 games here, and again, nobody feels sorry for you, as you just said, and every player knows, every fan knows that too. It's 3-0 on Pence, but yesterday you get Bumgarner, and that's why it was so disappointing, because the Rockies put themselves in a position to win once Madison was out of there. Today you get Johnny Cueto, who's 7-1.
And that's what always gets me about, you know, when you come out of spring training and you're talking about #1 starters and you know, matching up #1s against. After the first week of the season, that's all. It's just like a Scrabble game. I mean, you might get #1 against #3, 4 versus 2. It doesn't matter. Once you get into the season, everybody has rainouts.
3-1 on Hunter Pence. Pence lines it to the same spot. This is going to take his kiss off the wall. And then out of play. So it'll be a ground rule double. Posey scores 1-0 San Francisco.
Think about the 3 base hits in this ball game. Where have they been? They've been mislocation. That was up and away on the Subaru Supermo. That allowed Hunter Pence to get his arms extended for his 9th double this season.
Hunter Pence, wiry as he may appear, is one of the strongest guys in baseball. And when he hits them, they stay hit.
A lot of leverage in the swing. I mean, strong and leverage, that'll create some far shots.
Bell takes a strike. Brandon Bell had 3 hits yesterday.
That raises his average against the Rockies this year to .419. Everybody else he's hitting .254 against.
His 3rd 3-hit game of the season. Still, even with that, he's just 5 for his last 31. Parra makes a great catch in fair ground. He had to come a long way.
Think about how many steps he's had to run here in this early portion of the game. 2 shots to the left center field gap, and now one he has to slide right on the line down the third baseline. Big out from Cargo. The concentration, looking into the glove, and then when you hit the ground, this is where you see it pop out occasionally. Nice job, Gerardo.
Strike one on Brandon Crawford. That takes us to, you know, there's certain new analytics which I'm very fond of. There's others I'm lukewarm on, and there's others, quite frankly, I'm not big on. This is one I'm not big on, and I'll tell you why. Defensive runs saved. I don't know how they determine this. They have the Cubs #1 plus 21, the Giants, who are a good defensive team, plus 16. In other words, because of outstanding plays, they've saved 16 runs. DJ, speaking of outstanding plays, and unfortunately Reynolds can't scoop it, and it's going to cost the Rockies a run. We'll come back to that graphic. Pence never broke stride. Once that ball kicked out of the glove of Reynolds, Mark trying to scoop it in one motion, and it's 2-0 San Francisco.
DJ has to range far to his right to get this baseball, and then an off-balance throw doesn't allow him to get enough on it in between hop from Mark at first, so he can't go set it into the webbing. He tries to snag it, goes off the heel of his glove, and then kicks far enough away, and the headsy base running by Hunter Pence. He turns around and scores.
So that'll be an infield hit for Crawford. Now, do you attach an error to LeMahieu, allowing Pence to score, and that's what will happen. I want to get back to that DRS graphic. And you can say, well, you have a bias. You watch the Rockies every day. Well, not only do we watch the Rockies every day, because the Rockies are 9th in the bottom half of the National League at +2. I look at it a different way. I think we have a pretty good sense of what kind of defensive team this is, beyond just errors and straight fielding percentage, which is kind of the old metric. I think the sabermetricians are trying to find the right way to determine the elite defensive teams, and I applaud them and all those that come up with different metrics. But to sit here and say that the Rockies have saved just 2 runs defensively with their play.
Right. Well, and that last play notwithstanding from DJ, because he ranged far, it was a base hit. The guy did score because of where the throw was, but coming into this series, he was a 0. So I mean, think about all the runs that he saves diving.
And McNair.
Right. But that's what I'm talking about, this defensive run save. And you go to some of the outfielders. I mean, they're zeros as far as the number that they give them for DRS.
By himself, what has Nolan Arenado saved? By himself?
7. That's what it says.
Right. Well.
Yeah. To me, that's
well. That means that everybody else is a -5 collectively. I haven't seen that.
Right.
So basically, in summation, with some of these defensive metrics, ultimate zone rating, there's a line drive to center field and a base hit for Blanco. Crawford's going to go first to third. I'm still skeptical. Johnny Cueto coming up, 1 out, 2 runs on, 2 runs in, and 2 runners on. And Chris Russin maybe having deja vu. This kind of looks like what happened to Chris when he was at AT&T against this very good lineup.
Yeah, some hard hit balls, some soft hit balls, yet they're hits nonetheless. For Gregor Blanco, that's a 5-game hit streak with that single to center.
2 runs, 5 hits already for the Giants. Cueto gets the bunt down, and Reynolds waits for LeMahieu. 2 outs, runners at second and third, and Denard Span will come up. Fans, join in on the conversation. Send us thoughts, photos, statements on your favorite social media platform. Include the hashtag ToyotaTalk. We'll get to many of those during the game. Now, imperative right now that Chris Russin, left on left, finds a way to get Denard Span. You can't fall behind Johnny Cueto 4-0. It would be revisiting what happened yesterday when the Rockies were down 4-0 against Bumgarner. Span singled sharply between first and second, leading off the ball game. Career .286 hitter. Last year he hit over 300 at .301.
Long-time Major League leadoff hitter, Denard Span.
Always been a tough out. He's going to put it in play. Does not strike out very much. In fact, just 20 times in 217 at bats.
It was a very small strike zone too. By the time he stands in the box, and just as the pitch is being delivered to the plate, he'll start to go in a crouch, so that window starts to shut for the pitcher. I'll show it to you here in a moment. So he's getting in the box, standing very upright once he puts the bat up. And watch him, just as the pitcher starts to deliver, he'll squat the knees more and then kind of tilt the upper half more towards the plate.
On the ground to third, tough hop. Nolan handles it. That ends the inning. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Giants. Middle of 2, 2-0 San Francisco. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Make sure you do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. With Jeff Houston and Brad Thompson, Drew Goodman at Coors Field. Bottom of the 2nd inning, Gerardo Parra will lead it off. Parra has seen Johnny Cueto on numerous occasions. 32 at bats. He's got 11 hits, 344 average. Hit a couple home runs, in fact, against Cueto. Johnny with Cincinnati, and of course then traded to Kansas City at the trade deadline last year. And during the regular portion of the campaign in the American League with Kansas City, he really didn't pitch that well. 4 and 7. This ball is loud to center field and deep, and it's over the head of Span. Skips off the top of the wall. And it's a lead double for Gerardo Parra. Second hit for the Rockies, both doubles. LeMahieu had one last inning.
Just keeps moving Gerardo up onto the doubles list. 16 now this season. Fastball to Gerardo, and Denard Span, he just has to wait until it comes off the wall to get it back in, because he turned immediately towards his baseball. It was just hit too hard.
198 doubles in his career. Mark Reynolds at the plate. Mark's been great with runners in scoring position as he takes ball one. Hitting .429 this year, 12 for 28 with runners in scoring position. Rockies trying to counter after the two giant runs. Cut fastballs outside, 2-0. But Cueto in the postseason last year against Houston, he made a couple of starts in the division series and pitched effectively. Did not have a good start in the championship series, went 2 innings and allowed 8 runs on 6 hits. And people were saying, well, you know, what are they going to do? Will they use him in the World Series? They used him, and he pitched a complete game 2-hitter against the Mets.
It was game 2 of the World Series.
Gave up just 1 run.
He had a .476 ERA with the Royals, and he didn't. I mean, that was kind of generous.
In the air, fairly deep center field, tagging, and now Span's running up on it and trying to move up, and the throw is not going to get him. Tag on the feet. Parra got in with his hands. Now the question is, did he get him before the hand touched the bat? Tomlinson was waving, as all fielders now do, wildly at their dugout, and we'll have to see.
That's going to be hard to see, because if he did get anything, it was the bottom of the cleat.
Oh, but the left hand never touched the bag.
He went in with the right hand.
Yeah, I mean, he was past the bag before he contacted the bag.
Fans, the play is under review.
From that angle,
He's
it looks
out.
like he's out, because he did not reach with the left hand, trying to slide out and around Tomlinson and then reach it with his right hand.
Also visit RatesPlus.com for special offers.
I thought Parra may bluff once he saw Span moving up, because able to run into that throw.
Well, and that was the thing. He had set up so deep, and Denard Span had, but then he came in as that ball was being held up into the wind, and then got everything he needed behind it. Oh, you just see the right arm of Gerardo. I'm not sure he was trying to go out and around. His right arm just got stuck underneath him when he went to slide head first. Right here, watch his right arm just get locked behind him. And that didn't allow him to be able to reach for the bag. And it threw the left arm off. Right here, see the clearly got the tag down on the foot, and he is out.
So Span gets an assist, 8-5, and now they're 2 outs. Parra's erased.
Shortstop, number 20.
Story will come up with 2 gone.
Story.
Breaking ball for a strike on Story.
Take a look at the pitch arsenal for Johnny Cueto. Fastball cutter, he throws it all in any count, but he does like the fastball cutter, because he'll throw that 70, almost 76% of the time. And followed up with the slider. The difference for Cueto this year and even the last portion of last year is where he is pitching in the zone. That second pitch down in the zone, I know it was off the Subaru strike zone, but that is where he's been more effective, down. Look at how long he's waiting. Oh, he just maybe wanted to change pitches. I was thinking he's doing one of those where he hesitates for 5 seconds.
Slider just off the plate. No swing according to C.B. Buckner. Home plate umpires Jim Reynolds today. Buckner at first, fielding Colbreth at second, Manny Gonzalez at third. Giants up 2-0, 1-2 on Story, 2-2 on Story. Trevor's filling up a lot of categories. Leads the National League in extra base hits with 29. Also leads the National League in strikeouts with 71. Leads the National League in total bases with 111 by virtue of those extra base hits and the 13 home runs, which is tied for third most in the league. 3-2. He's 2 for 4 against Cueto.
Going to the slider.
Another 3-2. And this ball is hit well to right center field, way back and gone into the Rockies bullpen. And the Rockies are on the board. Home run number 14 for Story, and it's 2-1.
Battles back from an 0-2 count, works it to 3-2, and then just blisters this ball into the bullpen for the Rockies. Only the third home run that Johnny Cueto has given up this year. Now 2 to a right-handed batter. And there was no doubt. You see the power that Trevor has.
Well, he's running hard out of the box because he's lost 3 home runs this year in that direction.
Still has
Didn't lose
14.
that one. Yeah.
Ties him with Nolan for second in the National League.
Strike 1 on Tony Walters. Well, you mentioned Cueto doesn't give up many home runs. It's the 3rd he's allowed this year. There's only one guy who's thrown at least 30 innings this year that has allowed fewer home runs per inning pitched, and that is Chris Russell, who, as you can see, has not allowed a home run this year. The last guy to hit a home run against him was Kelby Tomlinson last October for the Giants. That's hooked to Brandon Belt. He'll run to the bag. That'll end the inning. So the Rockies had a double. That was wiped out on the throw by Span. And then Story goes deep. So it's 2-1 as we go to the 3rd. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Rockies down 2-1 as we go to the third. 2, 3, and 4 in the Giants lineup. Kelby Tomlinson fouled out to left his first time up. Actually to right, I should say. Getting my rights and lefts mixed up. It was
your 7 and your 9s mixed
my
up.
7s and my 9s. Cargo made a nice running catch in foul ground. Said Tomlinson hit the last home run against Russ, and actually it was the last day that Russ was giving up a home run, but he gave up 3 that day to the Giants. Tomlinson was the middle one. Crawford hit one after that. That was late 2015. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tomlinson out of Texas Tech.
It was October 3rd last year in San Francisco.
Tomlinson hitting .472 his last 16 games. Not all starts. He comes off the bench frequently.
Kind of a super utility guy for them.
Here's the 1-2. Two and 2. This Giant team has won 11 out of 13 on the road, and overall 14 out of 16. What's interesting about the stretch just underscores again what we so frequently talk about, that this game is and always will be about pitching. The Giants have won 14 out of 16. Their team ERA 2.43. The starters 1.53. Just incredible. Huey, they're scoring only 3.8 runs a game. That's not a big number.
You would have thought that would have been 5.8 runs a game.
Yeah, for a stretch like that, where you win 14 out of 16.
Everything is clicking. Your offense is just throwing up runs galore. Your pitching staff's doing their job. But 3.81. It tells you they found a way to figure out to win the low-scoring affairs, the 1-run games, and how to stay in a game, even when they're just scratch out a run or 2 here or there.
Awkward, but called a strike. 0-1 on Matt Duffy.
And it was a strike on the Subaru strike zone, but nothing about that appeared to be a strike. Just the way that it was caught by Tony, how he was going so far away from the plate.
Tomlinson can really run at first. Of course, you watched earlier when Russin picked off Denard Span in the first inning.
Some left-handers can read what a base runner is doing. A lot of them, though, are predetermined. They're either going to first or they're going to home. I think Chris has that ability to be able to, if a guy takes off, to really speed up his motion going to first base and take a shorter, quicker stride.
Top to third, only 1 play, and that's to first. Got to hustle, and with that great arm of Nolan's, he does get Duffy.
And he had to make a split-second decision. With Kelby running to second base, he knows he has speed, but he still wants to glance over there to see if maybe he felt going to second base. He glances and then sets his feet and comes over the top like a pitcher firing to home plate.
So Tomlinson at second, 1 out. Posey doubled to the gap in left center. His first time up. 6 RBIs yesterday, matched a career high for Posey. Kind of surprised, Huey, that it was just his 3rd career multi-home run game. You're talking about one of the premier hitters in the National League, and though not a guy who's going to hit, say, 30+ home runs, but a guy that's hit his fair share of home runs. You would have thought it would be a larger amount of days. Taking off for thirds, Tomlinson. Walter's got no shot.
That was stolen on Chris, not on Tony. Tony did everything he could do to get there, but that's that blind spot for a left-handed pitcher. So the base runner gets into that spot of the lefty where he can't see where he's at. Chris didn't even look back there. He just picked up his leg. Kelby Thompson took off. And because of that stolen base, which is Kelby's 5th, you have to bring the infield in.
Now you have a 2-0 count against a terrific hitter. Touches the outside corner, 2-1.
And after that big day, or before that big day yesterday for Buster, he was just 3 for 23 going into yesterday's game against the Rockies.
Good spot, 2-2.
That was an emergency swing from Buster. Looked like that case where he was sitting on an off-speed pitch and a fastball came and he had to just try to fire at it.
There's 11 home runs, 40 RBIs, and 49 career games at Coors Field. 3-2. Sometimes that happens with catchers. Big, thick mitt. You're not sure if you actually caught it. Tony Walter was already searching for the baseball, and he was in his glove.
When it goes into the webbing, that's when you'll lose it. Tony just wanted to make sure.
And he loses Posey.
Don't miss the action when the New York Yankees make a rare appearance at Coors Field. That's on June 14th and 15th. Get your tickets today for the New York Yankees series.
Well, Hunter Pence is up. He doubled to extreme left center field his first time. Drove in a run he would later score. Yesterday was his first day back after missing 6 with a strained hamstring. And that's to the gap in right center field. 1 run is scored. Posey to third will get a stop sign from Roberto Kelly. 2 doubles for Hunter Pence, and it's 3-1 San Francisco. And the Giants have 7 hits and 2 1/3.
Second double today for Hunter Pence. 2nd RBI today. Drops that back knee to get low enough on the pitch from Chris. See a little frustration on Chris's face, and we'll get a pitching or an appearance by the pitching coach, Steve Foster.
Yeah, one thing about today's game also, if Chris really continues to struggle, there isn't per se a long man available because De La Rosa, who's now in that role, went a couple innings yesterday. Bergman is on the disabled list. He threw some flat ground today, but he's a ways off, and he's not active. So you'd have to piecemeal it through. And as they talked about during the pregame show, and we've talked about, and Brad Thompson mentioned it, the Rockies are in the midst of 27 straight days of playing ball. And, you know, if it's a short outing, it's really going to put some heat on that bullpen.
And already in this series, just these first 2 games, you've already used 8 relievers.
It's pulled foul by Belt. Belt hit a fly ball down the third base line, and Parra came a long way to make a sliding catch. Rockies got the home run from Story. Now they're down 2 again. You have 2 in scoring position with Belt at the plate, and he hits this ball really well to right center field. And this is going to kick off the wall. It'll score 2, and Belt will have a double. And with Johnny Cueto on the mound, Walt's in a tough position, short in your bullpen, but you can't just let it get away either.
And they're not missing many of the pitches that Chris is throwing up. That was inside, but up to Brandon Belt. 11th double of the season. 2 more RBIs for 24 for the first baseman.
I see guys stretching down in that Rockies pen. Now some more movement. We'll see who gets up. Crawford at the plate. He had an infield hit his first time. 5 runs, 8 hits for San Francisco.
Well, this year for Chris, as a reliever in 5 games, he's 1-0 with the 172. But starting now, 0-2 with the 557 in 4 games.
Two strikes on Crawford. Second out. Again, guys stretching, but nobody's gotten up yet.
Left fielder, number 7.
Colorado. It's one of those days, Huey, where without a true long man, Walt may feel like he's forced to get whatever he can out of Russ in, and it may be more than you ordinarily would ask a pitcher to do, but you're in that quandary.
But you really don't have anybody else down there in the pen that can give you 2+ innings. You have some guys that can go an inning and a third, maybe an inning and 2/3. I'm talking about Justin Miller, maybe a Gonzalez Germain, but you're not going to want to do it with Mott, Qualls, Estevez, Miguel Castro.
Well, Estevez is down today.
Right, but I was just putting his name out there, but he's your 8th inning guy on the plus side.
Yep. Rockies walk Blanco to get to Cueto.
Pitcher, number 47, Johnny Cueto.
Cueto got a sac bunt down his first time. 2 in the second, 3 here in the third for San Francisco. Three runs on 3 hits or a couple of walks, 1 intentional. 5-1 Giants.
house today at Coors Field. Rockies have some work to do here in the bottom of the third inning. The fans, the first 20,000 of you through the gates on Wednesday, June 15th, will receive a Colorado Rockies baseball cap courtesy of Coca-Cola.
Chris Russin will lead off here in the third inning. The Rockies have 3 hits. They're all extra base hits. LeMahieu a double in the first, Parra a double in the second, and then the home run by Story. Rockies stranded LeMahieu, and then Parra trying to move up on a medium range fly ball by Mark Reynolds. The center was thrown out by Denard Span, called safe initially, but after review he was ruled out. Belt bobbles, recovers, and Russin beats the throw to Cueto, and it was dropped anyhow. It would have been close actually, but it was dropped by Cueto, so Chris Russin reaches.
Hustling hard out of the box was Chris. This will go down as an error on Brandon Belt. He got over there and dropped it, picked it up, and threw to Cueto, who dropped it. A little bit of a hot potato on the Subaru Supermo.
That'll bring up Charlie. Blackman hit a sharp ground ball to first. An error on Bell.
4th error of the season on Brandon.
Blackman's a guy who likes to get as much information as possible in each at bat. Not only what he's gathered from past encounters, video, but that's why he does that frequently. He's a better hitter this year than he was last year. And he was a better hitter last year than the year before, even though the average was very close. You know, the walks were up, and now the average well above 300.
And he extends his on-base streak to 24 ball games.
Yeah, he was unaware of that yesterday. We were talking about it after the game. He was unaware of it, and he said, "Don't tell me that." He doesn't like to know any.
He doesn't.
One of those guys that's kind of superstitious that way.
No, a baseball player superstitious?
Well, he'll tell you he's not superstitious.
Yeah, right.
DJ.
I like that for a couple different reasons from DJ. One is if you get it down and you get a couple guys into an extra guy into scoring position, you might get a base hit out of it. But lastly, with the very first pitch of an at bat, if you are going to lay down a bunt, the old rule of thumb is fair or foul. That ball ended up going foul, but you still have 2 more strikes. And you can still do it again.
And now DJ will work from an 0-2 deficit. Corked a big double to left center field in the first. DJ's hit 8 straight. Blackman describes DJ LeMahieu, as car goes on deck, as one of the smartest baseball guys he's ever been around. These two are real good friends. Here's the 1-2 outside, 2-2. You
could just see this from both of those guys, and I don't think Charlie's giving himself enough credit with his baseball IQ.
Yeah, sharp guy. The Rockies have a good game plan against Cueto. They put guys on base in each inning. We have 2 on here with nobody out, down by 4. Could be one of those outscore 'em days at Coors Field.
Sometimes you just have to have the mentality. If you want to slug, we'll slug. You're going to throw up some crooked numbers, you got to do the same.
Ton of room in left center field. Span shaded to right center.
Pretty shallow for Denard Span compared to where Hunter Pence is in right field.
And that's kind of how they aligned on Friday when Span started. We'll play a more shallow center field. The corner outfielders were much deeper. That's in right and Blanco in left. 3-2 on LeMahieu. Cueto went to the top shelf to strike out DJ.
You can pitch up for effectiveness, but you can't live there. This was an effective pitch to DJ. Climbed the ladder. DJ angry and upset. It's hard to get on top of that one when the pitcher's constantly pitching you down.
First strikeout of the ball game from the Rockies side. And now Cargo hit a little squibber out in front of the plate. It was grabbed by Cueto and he was thrown out by a smidgen. Called strike. Cargo riding a 6-game hitting streak. Came in 12 for his previous 25 during the stretch. One and one. Cargo, remember we were referring to the 2-1 pitch yesterday in the at bat against Osich, and it was a called strike to make it 2-2. It was up and away, and it was in the strike zone, but it appeared that it may have been high and away, and Cargo reacted with disgust, and we thought he was upset with the home plate umpire, Manny Gonzalez. He said after the game, he goes, no, that's what it looked like. He goes, I wasn't. I was mad at myself for not swinging at it. And then he swung at the next pitch and hit it 430.
Which was almost in the same spot. But Carlos yesterday takes his Giants reliever Osich well over the center field wall into the rocks. Happy Cargo is short-lived, but that put some energy into this ballpark.
It absolutely did. Here's the 2-1, and that is line to shallow left. It's going to drop, and stopping at third is Russell. So the bases are loaded for Nolan. Here is one of those big early game opportunities for the Rockies. They're down by 4, and the tying runs at the plate in the giant killer Nolan Arenado. Coors Light Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean and Crisp Coors Light. Home runs against the National League West since 2015. When we saw this graphic this morning, we were like, wow. He's got 15 more than Matt Kemp. The next highest number of home runs against the NL West. John Peterson, Paul Goldschmidt. Obviously, it's going to be guys within the division because the number of games we play inside the division. But 15 more?
No.
Well, make it 16 more. That would work nicely here.
There's also tie up the game. That'd be the best part. For Nolan, it doesn't matter whether it's AT&T Park or here at Coors Field.
No, you're right there. Down low. Nolan grounded to short his first time up. 2 for 5 yesterday. The double that drove in a couple. 3 for 12 lifetime with a home run against Johnny Cueto. Your mindset, Huey, isn't it? In any situation offensively, every time you go to the plate, but especially now, get your A swing off.
Don't be hesitant. Whatever your game plan is right now, however you're going to attack Johnny Cueto, make sure you stick with that plan and you really go at it committed to that plan.
Here's the 1-1. Now Cueto has the upper hand, 1 and 2. Parra's on deck. Two and 2. Russin reached on an error by Belt. He's at third. Blackman is at second. And Cargo is at first. The latter two with base hits. Cargo with that base hit is hitting 7 straight. And Nolan will back out.
Buster Posey and Cueto couldn't get on the same page.
Now it's 3 and 2. Rockies have 1 run on the Story home run last inning, which snapped a stretch of 19 1/3 scoreless innings thrown by Cueto against the Rockies. Say this with Bochy here, 10 years with the Giants, more than a decade as the manager of the Padres. He's seen everything at Coors Field that a visitor can see.
Well, here we go. This is where it comes down to.
3-2. It's fouled out of play.
Johnny's proud of his fastball. Struck DJ out with a high fastball, 93. Just tried to get Nolan on the fastball.
He could still go get 95, 96 when he wants to. Another 3-2. Ball 4 that forces in a run. Cueto asking home plate umpire Jim Reynolds if it was in. It was, and it's 5-2. That's an at bat that Nolan probably doesn't take a year ago.
But he takes it today for his 39th RBI. Let's work this pitch by pitch. First pitch really set up this at bat. Change up down, 83 miles an hour. Fouls off the next one. Sinking fastball, 1-1. Another sinking fastball, 1-2. 92 mile an hour fastball well away. And then a change up down again. Fouls off this 93 mile an hour fastball. Tries to cut it. Hip side cutter. Ball 4. Walks in a run.
And the guy coming up has had more success against Johnny Cueto than anybody in the Rockies lineup. Gerardo Parra is 12 for 33 with a couple home runs lifetime against Parra, including a double in his first at bat. That double hit the base of the center field wall. 1 out, bases full of Rockies. Colorado hits here in the bottom of the 3rd. And now Cueto and Parra, look at this.
Well, it's because he's trying to quick pitch him. Gerardo put his hand up, asking for timeout. And now the crew chief, Fielding Culbreth, will come in.
Well, you got to do that, Huey, and because there's Chris Russin does this also.
Timeout.
You got to make sure that you don't get quick pitched.
And we've seen it in this game too many times already. Trying to call timeout again. Now they're just arguing, saying, you're not letting me get set. We talked about that a few nights ago on one of the broadcasts, how you get into the box and you put your hand up telling the umpire timeout until you get ready to go. Arnold's doing it right now.
0-1. Pulled right at Bell. He caught it in the air. Double play. And Parra and Cueto had words as their paths crossed. Cueto turned for a moment, then kept walking. Brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. Tough break for the Rockies. Bases loaded, 1 out. And Gerardo Parra hit it on the button right at Brandon Bell, who reached down, made the catch, and then doubled Arenado off first base.
And it was a catch, as you witness on the Subaru Supermo. So he did catch it. There's the first out, and then he goes over to first base to double up Nolan. But there's a little bit of a stare down after that between Gerardo and Johnny Cueto. Just waiting to see if he's going to say anything after all that happened in that whole at bat.
Denard Span will come up for the 3rd time. Top of the Giants order in the 4th. Span's 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st, and he grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd. 5-2 Giants. Chris Russin has allowed 8 hits so far. He needs one of those quick innings. He starts Span out with a curveball. One and one on Span. The Giants 19-7 in the month of May, which is the best mark in Major League Baseball. A year ago, they went 21-9 in May. That was the best month they had last year. So the last couple of Mays have treated them very well. Rockies are 10-5 in series finales. Trying to come from behind and get this one from the Giants and take 2 out of 3. That's going to reach the seats. In fact, it's going to be about 10 rows back in the 2nd deck for Span, just his 2nd home run of the year. And it's 6-2.
And that breaks the homerless streak that Chris Russin was working on. Span, who does not hit many home runs, this is about as no doubter as you could get. Chris knew it. Cargo knew it. And for Chris, it had been 39 2/3 innings without giving up a home run.
Kelby Tomlinson at the plate.
Just think about the last 5 minutes of this game, how it's just kind of deflating. You work the walk to Cueto. You have a chance to build on that, the runs from last inning, then you line out. Their first guy comes up and hits a home run, puts it back up by 4.
Well, unfortunately, the last couple of times Russin has faced the Giants, they have really hit him hard. No little cut that one off. 1 out.
Third baseman, number 5, Matt Duffy.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices.
One and 2 on Duffy. Couple ground outs for Duffy in the game. Just 12 for 92 out on the road for the runner-up to Rookie of the Year last year. He's hitting well at AT&T, 353, which doesn't really stand to reason. Tough place to hit is AT&T.
You wouldn't put that in the list of hitters' ballparks.
Down the right field line, Cargo's not going to be able to get to this one. Made a catch on a similar ball earlier in the ball game,
but positioned differently because it was Kelby Tomlinson instead of Matt Duffy. Well, Duffy, he moves more into the right center field gap than he would for Tomlinson.
and now goes full 3 and 2. And he loses Duffy. So with 1 out, Duffy goes to first, and that'll bring up Posey. A double and a walk, 2 runs scored for Posey. 3 walks allowed, 1 intentional today by Chris Russin.
You certainly don't want to create more traffic when Buster Posey comes to the plate. Looking very comfortable in the box.
And a base hit for Posey. That's hit number 10 already for the Giants. And now you have Hunter Pence, who's mashed 2 doubles, 1 to left center, 1 to right center. He's got 2 RBIs.
Right fielder, number 8, Hunter Pence.
Sure, Walt's thinking about getting somebody up, maybe Justin Miller in the bullpen.
It'll be Justin Miller getting up. A strike on Pence.
Last 5 games for the Giants, they're hitting .373 with runners in scoring position. That is including today, 19 for 51.
Ball and a strike on Pence. Giants have a really deep lineup with Pence back and Belt back in there. They don't swing and miss much. Their whiff percentage, 19.5%, is the second lowest in Major League Baseball. They're going to put it in play, typically. Their contact rate, 81.8%, basically 82%. That's the second best in Major League Baseball. We were talking about DRS earlier. Those offensive metrics, to me, they have a little more teeth to them. It's too arbitrary on the defensive side, based on positioning and good pitch there. And a strikeout of Pence, that's huge.
Chris needed this strikeout, and he got it. Curveball in the Subaru Supermo to get Hunter Pence with the punch out.
Great time for his initial strikeout of the game. Now Brandon Belt, who had a 2-run double last inning.
And as a team, the Giants have struck out only 322 times. And I say only because that's the lowest mark in the National League.
And it's not a punch and Judy lineup.
They
you
have
look up and down the lineup, and you have guys that can leave the building. Posey, Pence, Belt, Crawford is on deck. Two strikes on Belt. 6-2, the Giants leading. Belt's got a 10-game hitting streak against the Rockies, hitting well over 400.
Throw a slow curveball to Belt here. Which you threw to him to get the second strike.
And he went fastball. 2-2. It still works well here, doesn't it?
It does. I say that because last time Belt hit the double, it was a fastball up and in.
Was a curveball. Didn't have the bite on it that Chris wanted. Chris 81 pitches in here in the 4th inning.
And his high on the season is 91. That was his start against St. Louis on the 18th. He went 6 innings.
fastball, maybe it was a changeup. I think it was a changeup. And he gets Belt and wiggles out of the first to second situation. Home run by Span makes it 6-2, middle of fourth.
Score here, bottom of fourth. I think Johnny Cueto is interesting to watch on the mound. Well, he's pretty fun to follow on Instagram as well. Check these out. That's him with a beluga whale. Spending a little time there in San Diego. He's taking care of business. Chef Cueto in the kitchen. And then he likes to flaunt that World Series ring he got last year from KC. That's a pick from earlier this month. He shows off how creative it is on the mound with his delivery. And he's very creative online as well. Drew and Jeff, do you guys follow him on Instagram?
I do not.
I don't either. I don't have Instagram. If I did, I would, I guess.
That's fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mark Reynolds. Brad thanks. Reynolds fouls this one off. Mark in Boston collected his 1,000th career hit Tuesday.
Sharp single to center field.
Earlier in the year, picked off his 200th career double also. Luis T out there missed 3-2.
Tion, I think the only thing missing is their Fernando Valenzuela look to the sky motion in his pitching repertoire.
And a walk. So Reynolds with a leadoff walk in the fourth, and that'll bring up Trevor Story, who homered his first at bat. Second walk allowed by Cueto.
Trevor battled back from 0-2 to take Cueto deep. Now Ty Nolan for the team lead and second in the National League in home runs with 14.
High ball 1 on Story. Rookie record for home runs for the Rockies in a season. Willeen Rosario 28 in 2012. Helton hit 25 his rookie year. Tulowitzki just went on the DL yesterday with Toronto. Williams playing in Korea.
Yeah, 309. 9 home runs, 41 RBIs as of yesterday for Williams.
Billy Hayes on the Giants staff asked me yesterday where Williams was playing. Way inside, 2-1. Playing for the Hanwha Eagles.
The Hanwha Eagles.
Hanwha Eagles. Two and 2 count on Story. Rockies have had runners on in every inning against Cueto. 5 hits in the game. Cueto caught a break against Parra. Bases loaded last inning, 1 out. Parra hit a sinking line drive, but it was right at Brandon Belt, who gloved it and ran to the bag and doubled off Nolan Arenado. The Rockies got only 1 run out of the bases loaded situation yesterday. That was on the walk to Nolan. Swung on and missed, and Story's gone.
Catcher, number 14, Tony.
Second strikeout for Cueto. Tony Walters coming up. For the moment, Chris Russin in the on-deck circle.
Nobody up in the pen for Colorado. Doesn't mean that somebody's not ready to go and they've sat down.
There's a base hit. Russin looking at the dugout, and he was told go swing the bat.
Pitcher, number 52, Chris Russin.
Russin showed bunt, pulled it back. It's in there for a strike.
He's waiting to see what was going to happen with Matt Duffy at third, if he was going to charge if they ran the wheel play. The only guy that busted hard in was Brandon Belt.
You know what? He may have gotten away with one there. I thought he offered it that.
I thought he did too.
Was checked out at third by Manny Gonzalez, and he said no offering, so it's 1-1. You tell me. Yeah, he pulled that back late. Two and 1.
Last two have been off the Subaru strike zone. Chris in his career, 308 hitter with runners in scoring position.
Does own a home run. Slug bunt. Foul.
The runners took off, tried to slug bunt, hit and run.
My guess is they'll slug bunt again here, Huey.
Chris can handle the bat. And that's why it wouldn't be a bad play.
So if you go straight sack bunt and you foul it off, it's a strikeout, as you know, and then
the whole key, if you're going to do it for Chris, get it out there early to make it appear that that's what you're going to do, and then just pull it back ever so slightly. Yep.
Well, they kept it
on, and now it's a strikeout.
Center fielder, number 19, Charlie.
So that'll bring up Blackman with 2 outs. Charlie singled in the 3rd. Now reached to 24 straight. There's a strike. Reynolds walked. He's at second. Walters a single to right. He is at first with 2 gone. Blackman on April 13th was hitting 185 when he went on the DL. What's interesting about that, a conversation I had yesterday with Charlie, as good as he's going right now, he's hit above 350 the last few weeks. He's in a good place. Clearly, he said, I felt like I hit the ball better the first 2 weeks of the season. He hit into some hard outs in the opening days of the year.
Just looking back on, I just remember the first couple games down in Arizona, he was 1 for 9, but he could have been 5 or 6 for 9. That's how many hard hit balls he had. Followed it up against San Diego. Same sort of issue for Charlie, just bad luck.
Two and one. And during this 24-game streak of reaching, got a .351 average, on base percentage just under 400. He's driven in 15 runs. The top spot in the lineup. Cueto's had to work. He's at 72 pitches here with 2 outs in the 4th. Left field, Blanco trying to trap, makes the catch to put the inning down. So we'll go to the 5th. The Rockies had a walk and a base hit. They leave 2 aboard. 6-2 Giants. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Some news from around the game. Yu Darvish returned coming off Tommy John surgery. Looked really good. Struck out 7 in 5 innings. Got the victory for Texas over Pittsburgh yesterday. Salvador Perez is going to miss a little more than a week. He had a collision with his 3rd baseman yesterday going for a pop-up. Mike Trout hit his 150th career home run. And in a loss to Houston, one of 8 players now, all-time with 150 home runs and 500 runs scored before the age of 25. Trout's having a big year.
Darvish looks like he did not miss any time at all in his performance, and I thought Salvador Perez was going to be out for the year watching that collision.
Ground ball to DJ, and Crawford's retired. Fortunately, his spikes, Huey, didn't get caught in the ground when he
but still,
got undercut.
It looked like it was right at the knee where it could get hyperextended going back. You tear the ACL. But to come away with just a contusion of the thigh, that's great news for Perez and the Royals.
Blanco is single and was intentionally walked. Big crowd at Coors Field on this holiday weekend. They have not had much to cheer about other than the Trevor Story home run. Rockies trailing 6-2. Giants did not score in the first, but they've scored in the next 3 innings. 2-1. Fair ball, touched the chalk. Double for Blanco, hit number 11 for the Giants.
During this 5-game hit streak for Gregor, he's had four times he's had multiple hits. And when you're going right, things are going to fall into place for you. And when you're not, this ball would go foul. But for Gregor Blanco, yeah, 2 inches inside the foul line. 3rd double of the season. Justin Miller again now has gotten back up into the Rockies bullpen.
And Cueto tries to bunt his way on, fouled off. 0-1. Cueto in 2012 won 19 games, and then in 2014 he won 20 games for the Reds. 19-9 and then 20-9.
Signed through 2021 and a club option for 2022.
Well, they made a run at Greinke. Greinke ended up costing Arizona over $200 million for his contract, and they, and I put this in quotations, settled then for the twosome of Jeff Samardzija and Johnny Cueto for a grand total of similar kind of money. But it's worked out really well because Samardzija is 7-2 and Cueto 7-1. So 14-3 with a sub-3 ERA, actually a sub-2.5 ERA. Between those two guys. There's Samardzija.
So they took some of that money and used it for 2 guys instead of just 1. And Zach Greinke 6-3 with the 4.71 ERA.
Samardzija will open up that series in Atlanta tomorrow. I'm a little surprised, Huey, that they didn't send Samardzija out because it's a, again, a 2-hour time difference and it's a day game. I think they may have sent Samardzija, as the Rockies did, sending Tyler Chatwood home early.
Yeah, so he could get in there, have a nice dinner, settle in, instead of getting in around midnight.
Center fielder.
2 outs with the strikeout of Cueto. 3 strikeouts for Russin. And now Chris will have to deal with Denard Span, who is 2 for 3 against him, including his 2nd home run of the year. Hit one in the 2nd deck last inning.
Back in the 4th inning, Denard Span It was 411 feet, I heard, on the home run distance.
One on the 32-year-old Span. Pick plays on. Close. Timing play with Story, and they almost had Blanco.
Trevor right behind, and then he flashes the glove for the daylight play. Quick spin move. Good throw from Chris. Give us a better look on the Subaru Supermo.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at it.
Just looking at that from that angle, it appeared that he got him on the wrist real close before the hand got in.
This break in the action is brought to you by Brakes Plus. Stop into your local Brakes Plus for all your automotive maintenance needs. Also visit brakesplus.com.
I don't know. It's the old, is there enough evidence to overturn it? Because you get blocked by Trevor's foot.
Difficult to tell.
It is. Well, you know, one angle from behind, you can't see where the fingers hit the. This is the one. Tags him on the wrist, but where are the fingers in relation to the bag? Are they on it?
Got him. So that'll get the Rockies off the field in the fifth as Russin picks off Gregor Blanco. Middle of 5, 6-2 San Francisco.
With Dinger, Rockies trailing this ball game 6-2. An injury update. Nick Hundley today, after batting practice, left for a rehab assignment. Go play a couple days down in Arizona. All goes well there. He'll go to Albuquerque, play in 2 games, and then he hopes to join the team as they start the road trip down in San Diego. And I was talking to Nick too, and he was just bouncing off the walls. He couldn't wait to get back out there, start playing again, be part of the team. Said everything's healthy right now.
Yeah, it's been a rough go from an injury standpoint this first portion of the year. This ball is well hit, right field corner. Pence. Did he hold on to the baseball? He did.
Right fielder, number 5.
Hunter Pence just gobbles up ground with the long strides. Looked at the wall 2 or 3 times and then reaches up with the glove, braces himself. First out of the inning.
Cargo served a single to left his last time up, 1 for 2. Now a 7-game hitting streak. That speed up delivery from Cueto.
When a pitcher speeds up, you can't speed up your process when you're trying to get your load. So that's what makes that happen for the pitcher. He gets the timing of the hitter thrown off.
Cargo pulls that one foul.
It's even harder when you incorporate a leg kick in your swing.
Nolan on deck, 1 out, nobody on. Rockies hitting in the 5th, down by 4 runs. Cueto, if I remember right, Huey, because we saw him in spring training, like Bumgarner, really had a poor spring.
He did. And people again were wondering what's wrong with Johnny Cueto, what's wrong with Madison Bumgarner. These guys are veteran pitchers,
track record guys you don't worry about.
And the other thing too is we say it, they're getting their work in, and for these guys that was truly the case, is they were just making sure they had the right amount of innings and pitches, all the bullpens in before the regular season. When you've been to the playoffs and the World Series and pitched as long as they have, spring training is pretty hard to get that adrenaline rush going.
Every once in a while, alarm bells rightfully go off.
It will.
But not the case with these two. And Cargo bounces this ball to Belt, 2 outs.
Third baseman, number 28, Nolan.
Nolan's 0 for 1. He walked on a 3-2 pitch last inning, 2 innings ago, to force in a run. Well, Nolan comes from a baseball family. In fact, his cousin, who plays third, everybody plays third, Josh Fuentes, who's in the Rockies organization, was just moved to Modesto from Asheville. He's hitting 400, I believe, in Asheville. So he just got promoted. Congrats to Josh Fuentes. And his brother, his younger brother, Jonah Arenado, is in the Giants organization, was a 16th round pick in 2013. And he's at San Jose in the California League. So he'll play against Josh coming up.
It'll be a family affair.
Yeah. He's hitting 246 right now, 6 home runs, 21 driven in. Last year he had 264 with 9 home runs and 62 ribbies in Augusta in the Sally League. They can all hit.
Imagine how competitive that wiffle ball tournament that they have as a family is.
Well, if you're one of the neighbors, you just want to get one of the Arenado clan on your team. Just give me one.
Just one of them.
Don't gang up on the rest of the hood, right?
That's right.
Posey's got to play, and it's the first 1, 2, 3 inning for Johnny Cueto. We'll go to the 6th inning. Giants 6, Rockies 2. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Rubber game of a 3-game series. The Giants right now leading the Rockies 6-2. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and the Rockies made a change. Chad Qualls will come in. He'll take over for Chris Russin. Russin goes 5 innings, and he allows the 6 runs on 11 hits today.
93 pitches. Chris did that necessitated bringing Chad Qualls in. Originally it was Justin Miller who had been warming up, but he'd warmed up a couple times. Walt decided to go with Qualls. Chad pitched an inning yesterday, gave up a couple hits, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts.
Russin 11 hits, 3 walks, 1 intentional, 3 strikeouts. Denard Span 2 for 3 so far. Top of the order for the Giants. Another strike, 0-2.
Right on the outside corner on the Subaru strike zone. With late movement.
Chad yesterday, his 800th career appearance. A lot of time down in that bullpen.
A lot of stories to be told. A lot of killing time.
Two and two. Nine major league teams now that Chad has joined the Rockies, which is not altogether unusual for a reliever, especially a setup type of reliever.
Think about how many teams LaTroy Hawkins was on. I mean, it just happens with those guys.
Sharply hit and past the diving Nolan Arenado for a single. 3rd hit for Denard Span. Kelby Tomlinson will come up, and let's visit with Brad Thompson again. Brad?
Talking about 800 appearances for Chad Qualls. I asked him if any stand out, and he said although he appreciates all of them, the one he remembers the most is just his MLB debut. That's really the only one that comes to mind when I asked him about it.
I think everybody remembers that. For a pitcher, first time you came out of the bullpen, or if you're a starter, came across the line from the dugout. Certainly Huey as a hitter, you remember that first walk to the plate, don't you?
Yeah, because it's every kid's dream. I mean, we all dreamt about it in the backyard. From however long this game gets in your blood, so 4, 5, 6 years, however years old, however long you can remember back. And now you've made it to the big leagues after everything in the minor leagues.
You know, some guys' path is really littered with potholes and unpredictable scenarios, and maybe even the feeling that it's not very likely. And I want to ask you, we've talked about your path, that you were undrafted after your senior year at the University of Wyoming. When you did make it, did you almost pinch yourself perhaps more than, I mean, it's hard to compare what other guys do when they get there. I mean, certainly if you're a first-round pick, there's an expectation that you're going to get there. If you're an All-American in college and really well thought of, there's probably that expectation. I'm going to get to the big leagues. I don't think Bryce Harper even, ever doubted he was going to be a major league player. But for many guys, probably more had your kind of story. When you finally got there, did you say, oh my, I can't believe this?
I can't believe I'm here. Exactly right. I kind of just felt like, really? This is happening to me? Because, yeah, you're right. Some guys, it's a little clearer path. But I think if you look at the majority of the stories of guys in the big leagues, yeah, there's the first rounders, there's the no doubters that are going to make it. But there's a lot of guys that have just grinded through the minor leagues, the injuries. Some guys have even been out of the game for a while.
Yeah, to me, it's remarkable. And you have, like a lot of players, but really a remarkable story. And I remember you told me this once, that when you first showed up for your first spring training and you were on a backfield, right?
Way back there.
And you went out there and you said, I don't know what these guys are going to look like. Maybe I'm way over, my skis here. And it was pretty quick where you realized, wait a second, I do belong.
Right, but when you walk out for the first time as a minor league player and there's 150 guys out there wearing the same uniform you are, and you look at it and you go, uh-oh, I might be in over my head here. But there comes a point when you have to trust your ability. And for Chad Qualls now, 800 appearances in the big leagues. That's a remarkable number.
There's that other familiar line for baseball players, really hard to get to the big leagues. It's even harder to stay.
Harder to stay, because there's always that next phenom behind you.
2-0.
And it kind of goes back to the number that Doug gives us. It's just shy of 19,000 people have ever played in the major leagues. I mean, that one still boggles my mind.
I was at a complex, the Lutz complex up in Arvada this morning, and a ton of games going on at all ages. This is line to cargo. When you think of how many kids play, how many kids go home after playing, the posters on the wall of Carlos Gonzalez, of Johnny Cueto, of Nolan Arenado, Mark Reynolds, Denard Span, and hope one day. And then the cool thing is when you do, like Trevor Story, get to play against Big Papi, and you may have had his poster on the wall, and then he puts his arm around you after doubling. That's really cool stuff. 2 outs, Posey, double walk and a single. How many guys, not that you can instantly pick off a number, but were there a couple of guys that shall remain nameless that you played with or against in the minor leagues that you felt like, oh man, that guy's going to be a big star in the big leagues, and they never got there?
No doubt. Some didn't even make it out of Able.
But you thought they were terrific.
Thought they were so much better than everybody else athletically, what they could do on the field, but then it just didn't translate, or something happened and they got, a couple guys got in trouble. I mean, it's Yeah, it's a weird path sometimes for guys and how they make it and how other guys don't.
I think every player like yourself has those stories of, man, you should have seen so-and-so play. Runner going, and it's fouled off. Span will come back. 2-1 on Posey.
But then you have other guys that you played with, and we had him on our Twitter takeover on Tuesday night. Larry Walker played with him 3 years down in the minor leagues with the Expos, and you knew he was going to make it.
And he did.
Because he was just so much better than everybody else. But the one thing you can't do, you can't ever lose the love for the game.
I say this about certain players, again, even at this level, and most of these guys, obviously ridiculously talented, have worked their tails off to get here and do have that passion. But there's some, like Nolan Arenado. I mean, he'd play at midnight after playing a doubleheader earlier in the day. He just loves to play every single day. You see that a lot of times with the kids from Latin America, and you see after playing 100, say 50+ games during the regular season, they'll go play another 35 in winter ball. And these are guys that are established. You know that, Hugh.
Right, because I mean, one, it's playing for the country. I think that's a lot of it.
Or their local team.
Or their local team. They want to stay in shape, so they're ready for spring training. Yeah, if you say, hey, let's go play another game, I'm in.
Yeah. 3-2, Span will be off, and Posey pokes it to right. Fargo will have to field it on a hop, Span to third. And Buster Posey's gotten hot here the last couple of days.
Well, when you're hot, you'll just throw the bat out just to make contact. Take the top hand off the bat to increase some of the length to cover that outside pitch.
Hunter Pence, 2 doubles and a strikeout. That was against Chris Russin. 2 on, 2 outs. Qualls trying to get Pence. 0-1.
Frisbee slider not close on the Subaru strike zone, but it moves so much that Hunter Pence thought he could reach it.
Again, 0-2.
Oh, why not make it 3 in a row? Throw it again.
Runner going, and Posey takes second base. It's the second stolen base for Posey. Rockies ahead in the count. Didn't even make a play on him. Everybody up the middle froze. Story and LeMahieu holding their position. And this is poked to deep right. Carr goes there, though. Couple hits, couple men left. The Giants continue to lead 6-2. Cooney lets us look back some of the images today. The Rockies got a home run from Trevor Story, but 13 hits and 6 runs for the Giants. Most of those hits off of Chris Russell. All the runs charged to Chris. Bottom of the 6th inning, Parra's up there against Johnny Cueto. Cueto coming off his first 1-2-3 inning. A double and a line out for Gerardo in the game. He takes a strike. Last time he was up, it was that waiting game between Parra and Cueto. He was trying to prevent Cueto from quick pitching him, and they had words, and both guys were kind of gesticulating at each other.
Kept trying to call timeout, and then Cueto would try to quick pitch him, and then the line out, and then the stare down.
Turned into a double play, unfortunately, because the Rockies had the bases loaded. Great opportunity to get back in the game. High strike call. Parra stares down Jim Reynolds.
Top of the Subaru strike zone. It just didn't appear that way for Parra. He thought it was up and away. Jason Mott up in the Rockies bullpen.
One out.
First baseman.
Johnny Cueto, 7-1 on the season, an .875 win percentage. Played with a couple other big names on that list, but Jake Arrieta and Steven Strasburg are leading that. Both of those guys are 9-0. Kershaw 7-1. Steven Matz 7-1. It was an interesting ball game last night in New York.
That's one way of describing it. I want to get your take on this. This is a bloop to shallow left that will be caught out there by Gregor Blanco. So yesterday, Noah Syndergaard is facing Chase Utley in the 3rd inning. Everybody remembers Chase Utley's late slide in the playoffs that broke Ruben's hottest leg, and he threw behind him, and Adam Hamari, a young umpire, threw him out. Then he threw Terry Collins out, and Utley goes on to have a 2-homer day, and the Dodgers romp over the Mets. Should that have been a warning issued for you, Huey,
yes,
or the immediate ejection?
I think a warning for sure, because what I know, Noah Syndergaard probably, in more likelihood, threw behind him on purpose, but you don't know with 100% certainty that he did. So that's why you get a warning. So I mean, I just look at that, and how do you truly know what the intent of somebody, what they're thinking as an umpire? A pretty good idea, but you can't be 100% sure. And there were some other things that have been going on back and forth. You get a warning, you need a chance to be able to send another message on the opposing side and then get the warnings out of the way for both sides. Now if somebody gets hit after that, then it's an ejection.
You know, the Mets argument, and you saw, Terry Collins just turned 67 the other day, when, you know, bonkers, and you get it. I mean, he just lost, you know, arguably his best pitcher in the 3rd inning in a scoreless game at that point. And now you're talking about a competitive imbalance because the umpire chose not to give a warning and just give the old heave-ho. That's strike 3 on Story. And that is now 8 in a row set down by Cueto. Rockies trailing 6-2. Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. Brandon Belt's going to lead it off in the top of the 7th inning against Jason Mott. Let's check in with Brad Thompson. Brad?
Drew, speaking of Jason Mott, Carlos Estevez yesterday got in a little trouble in the 8th inning, ended up giving up the lead on a home run to Buster Posey. And in the dugout, I was talking to Jason Mott about what is advice he has for these young guys like Carlos Estevez.
No one's ever had a 0, ever. You know, so it's one of those things. You're gonna have good days, gonna have bad days, but you know, that's why I play 162 of these things. You go out there, you know, there's tomorrow. So like I said, you have a good day, that's great. Learn from it. You know, go out and do it again. You have a bad day, learn what you did wrong, go out there and have a good day the next day.
And so after I talked with Jason Mott, a few minutes after that in the clubhouse, he was talking with Carlos. I'm not sure exactly what they said, but he was there again the next day saying, hey, stick with it. You can keep it. You can have a better outing. Forget about last night and just turn the page. Drew?
Well, that's what you have to do. I mean, baseball players learn that, Huey, from a very early age.
It's just something that you have to then incorporate when you get to the big leagues, because, you know, this is a result-oriented business. And if you have too many of those, you might get sent out, released, all of that. But Jason Mott's been around forever. Second game for Jason, made the appearance out in Boston. And I know there was still some talk and some questions this morning from Walt. He said Carlos Estevez is my 8th inning guy, and Jason, I didn't want to put him back in that situation yesterday. And he still needs to be able to build up a couple innings, and I'm talking about Jason, before he's thrown back into that high leverage, high pressure area where you're up by a run or down by a run.
Mott looked great in that first appearance at Boston. Hit 97 a couple of times. Here's the 1-2 on Bell. Throws a cutter. Bell, a 2-run double in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. Rockies have been out hit 13-6 this afternoon.
San Francisco, I said it yesterday, I say again, they're 21-0 when they out hit their opponent. Only team in baseball to have that mark.
Two line to right. Card goes. Going to have to field it on a hop. Now he's going to try to cut down Belt, trying for 2, and Belt is in there with his second double despite a strong throw from Gonzalez. 14 hits for the Giants.
Whatever slump Brandon Belt was in, he's out of it now. 4-seam fastball in the Subaru Supermo, and he gets those hips cleared, brings the bat through for another double. Argo did his best to cut it off to fire it back into second base. Belt just too quick.
Brandon Crawford at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Giants have had the leadoff man on in 6 out of 7 innings, and 3 of those 6 have scored. This is crushed to center field, and it's off the base of the wall. Belt will score. Crawford head first slide into second with the run-scoring double. 28th RBI for Crawford. 7-2 Giants.
7th double today for San Francisco. Second hit for Brandon Crawford, 28th RBI. Mott knew it when he let go of that pitch, and Brandon smokes it to center field off the wall at the 4:15 mark.
Blanco single, intentional walk, and a double. The only guy in the starting lineup of position players not to have a hit is Matt Duffy, though he reached on a walk in the 4th inning.
Connor Gillespie's come out to the on-deck circle for Cueto.
Cueto had a lot of pitches early in the game. He has retired 7 in a row.
He's 96 pitches now.
He's been averaging 107.
Well, that look right there tells you he's done.
Yeah. But again, there were a lot of high-stress pitches early in the game. I think that's probably why Bruce Bochy and Dave Righetti opted to pull him out. That's a base hit. 16 hits yesterday for the Giants. They have 16 hits today. Not going to win a lot of games giving up 16 hits.
Now bring your group to Coors Field and receive discounted pricing, scoreboard recognition, and other great benefits. Call today for more information and get your group on.
Your attention. Pinch hitting
So Gillespie will pinch hit.
Number 21, Connor Gillespie.
First and third, nobody out. Double single, comebacker. Mott holds the runner, and they'll still get a double play out of the deal. That's a good play by Jason Mott.
Well, he caught it and then thought about immediately just going to second base, but realized again that there's a runner at third. Then he checks him, and because it was hit so hard, he could do all of this in a split second, where he glances, then gives his throw to Trevor. Back to Mark at first for the double play.
That'll bring up Span again. Every time we look up, Span's at the plate. 3 for 4 today, including a home run in the 4th.
His 5th at bat here, and we're just in the 7th inning.
Another strike. Crawford's at third, Blanco at first. Excuse me, Blanco is a race. Outside, good catch by Walters, almost took his glove off.
That's the infielder coming back out for Tony.
(7-2) San Francisco. The Rockies been out hit 16-6. Walters will lead off in the bottom of the 7th. 8-9-1 at the bottom of the 7th for the Rockies. Rockies 9-11 at home this year. The Giants, one of the most robust road records in the game at 15-9. Two on Span, and that's bounced toward the Rockies dugout.
Looks like it'll be Josh Oshich for San Francisco.
Tenth game of the season series between the Rockies and Giants. They'll play 19. Rockies have won 5 of the first 9. Up the middle, Story will get spammed. Good play by Trevor. In the inning, a Belt double and then a Crawford double produced the 7th run for San Francisco. It's 7-2. Performing God Bless America today, representing the United States Air Force Academy Band, is Staff Sergeant Kristen Cazenave.
Fans, the Colorado Rockies are proud to host and honor those who sacrifice on behalf of us all. With us on the field today is Specialist Jared Maxson. Specialist Maxson joined the United States Army in 2012. He graduated as an Air Defense Enhanced Early Warning System Operator and was deployed to Kadena Air Force Base to aid in the air defense mission of Okinawa and Pacific assets. He has earned several medals and awards, including the Army Commendation Medal. Specialist Maxson has re-enlisted for another 4 years to further his career and soon will be departing again for overseas. He is joined on field today by his father Steve, wife Brittany, and daughter Chloe. Fans, please give a warm hero's welcome to Specialist Jared Maxson and all of our nation's brave servicemen and women and their families. We thank you for your service and sacrifice. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country with the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today, representing the United States Air Force Academy Band, is Staff Sergeant Kristen Cazenave. Please welcome Staff Sergeant Cazenave and join her by singing along to God Bless America.
Follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. That's when the Rockies hit the magic number 7. They need at least that. They trail 7-2 right now to the Giants. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Brad Thompson as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Rockies have been out hit 16-6, 8, 9, and 1 in their order. Tony Walters will face Josh Osich here. Christian Adames is going to pinch hit next.
Josh, 2 batters faced yesterday. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and one of those hits was the Carlos Gonzalez moonshot to center field.
There's a strike. Osich is a hard thrower. Mid to upper 90s. Kind of filled that role of Jeremy Affeldt, who retired after a long career. Began in Kansas City. He was with the Rockies. A lot of success with Colorado. And then won 3 rings with the Giants.
And with Kansas City, they just didn't know whether he was going to be a starter, a reliever, what he was going to do. He came over here and found that role in the bullpen, and then took it over to San Francisco. Heads up, Tony.
Cueto goes 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Walters thrown out 4-3, and that'll bring up Christian Adames. Here's our Kubota pitching performance in comparison. Cueto's numbers we just recited to you. 1 earned run of the 2 runs he gave up, and 11 hits, 6 runs against Chris Russin today, and he gave up his first home run of the year. That came to Denard Span. So Christian Adames, been swinging the bat well, will step in from the right side. 8 Rockies in a row have been retired. The Cubs won again today at home against Philadelphia. They've won 5 straight. They needed a winning streak, didn't they?
Yeah, they cooled off. They were just 6-4 in the last 10 games, but helps when you win 5 in a row. They're 17-6 now at home.
And they're 20 games over 500 at 34-14, which is the best record in baseball.
The team that comes in tomorrow, the Cincinnati Reds, are 18 back.
At least the Reds finally snapped that 10-game losing streak.
But lost again today.
Hopefully the Rockies can keep that trend going on Cincinnati. They'll play 4 against the Reds beginning tomorrow afternoon on Memorial Day. Milwaukee beat the Reds today 5-4. And Adames draws a walk. We'll bring up Blackman.
Yesterday you got Madison out of there. Today you got Johnny Cueto, because in this series, just in the first 2 games for San Francisco, they've used 10 relievers in 9 of the 3rd innings. They've given up 14 hits, 9 earned runs, and an ERA of 8.68. So there's still a hope. You're 5 down with 8 outs to go.
Blackman ready to go. Outside, ball one. One away, one in, 2-0.
With that walk, Hunter Strickland, the right-hander, is now throwing in the San Francisco bullpen.
That touches his zone, 2-1.
Charlie taking the whole way. Back to the number of pitches he sees per plate appearance.
Yeah. Strickland was one of the 13 pitchers used in that 7th inning yesterday by Boch.
The game was moving along, and then with all those pitching changes last from the 7th inning on, it slowed down. You're matching up.
Raise your hand in the Giants bullpen if you have not had an opportunity to pitch yet.
It's one of those games where a lot of parents are going to be happy because they see their son participate in the game.
Yeah. This is out in front of the plate. Posey jumps on it. 2 outs.
Second baseman, number 9.
That'll bring up LeMahieu. A reminder, if the Rockies win the next day, you get 50% off your online orders at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. DJ doubled back in the 1st inning. Unfortunately, the Rockies unable to push him home. 1 for 3. Hit a ball into the right field corners last time up, a high fly ball that Pence made a nice running catch. DJ hitting .333 against the Giants this year. Got to get something going in your direction. A 2-out knock here would score Adames in all probability. And if you're the opposing manager, you never ever are comfortable at Coors Field. You know that.
Well, and then you would also, if DJ reaches, you have the same matchup you had yesterday between Josh and Cargo. We all remember how that turned out. Cargo with the home run to center field.
Crowd of 42,307 at Coors Field today. Watch the Giants do most of the hitting. That's lined right at Crawford. Goodwood AB, Guam. Unfortunately, it was right at Crawford. That'll end the inning. 7 done, 7-2 Giants.
Rockies trailing the Giants 7-2, but we need to give a big shout out to our partner Ryan Spilborghs, who yesterday was able to play in the Hall of Fame game out at Doubleday Field in Cooperstown. And not only did he play in it, he threw out a couple hits. But what an experience that was for everybody involved. Left it all on the field. You know what? We're going to hear about that because he's going to be back tomorrow. We'll hear about that.
Do you know what? He told me that he was in the park the other day with the kids and he fell and skinned his knee, and now he's wrapping that up and he's making it seem as if it happened in Cooperstown.
Paul Harvey. Now we know the rest of the story.
Now we know the rest of the story.
Yeah, right. Okay. Justin Miller. And for Justin, appearance number 19 this season, 19 in the third innings.
Kelby Tomlinson at the plate. Tomlinson 1 for 4. Singled and scored in the third. He also had a stolen base that inning. You could smell rain in the distance, and hopefully it stays in the distance to the north of us.
All for that. The rain just staying to the north.
So Tomlinson gets plugged.
See on the Subaru Supermo, wears it on the left arm where he has the elbow pad. Well, maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's just his sleeves. It just gave the appearance that he was sporting one.
One strike on Duffy. 0 for 3 and a walk on Matt Duffy. Giants look at where they are as almost a real bonus in that Duffy hasn't hit much this year. Posey really until the last 2 days hadn't hit much. Time was called. No pitch.
And those two guys are anchors in that lineup at 3-4.
Yeah. You know, Pence has missed some time.
I just think about the job that Matt Duffy's done for him in last year's rookie year to come up and fill that void that they needed, not only to take over for Pablo at third base, but where does he hit in the lineup?
Yeah, the last couple of years they've brought a guy up that's had a big impact on them in a positive way. Matt Duffy a couple of years ago was Joe Panik.
Well, and Joe Panik was filling in for Marco Scutaro. And they tried Casey McGee partially, was it last year, 2 years ago, for Pablo at third base, and that didn't work out.
It was last year.
Last year to start the year. That's right.
He had the good year with Miami. I remember McGee 2 years ago. The Rockies opened in Miami, and Casey McGee went bonkers.
Well, and that was right after he'd come back from Japan the year before.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he had 2 or 3 good years in Milwaukee.
One and 2 on Duffy. Justin Miller, fourth pitcher used today by the Rockies. That's strike 3. One gone. That'll bring up Posey. Posey's had another strong day. Double, walk, single, single. 3 for 3.
Fans, you elected to celebrate Nolan Arenado during the first player-elect game on June 1st. You can buy the ticket package online and get an exclusive Arenado t-shirt. Nice looking shirt with the number 28 and the name on the back.
Posey takes ball 1. In any sport, it's always fun to look back on a draft 5, 6, 7, 8 years later and say, okay, if you could redraft now, how would it look? The inexact science of drafting. So the first 5 picks in the 2008 draft went as follows. Tim Beckham went number 1, shortstop to Tampa. 1-0.
Yeah, they might want to
probably would go number 1 now. Pedro Alvarez went number 2 out of Vanderbilt to the Pirates. You know, some power years with the Pirates, but he's now hitting below 200 with Baltimore.
And primarily a DH. Doesn't really have a position.
No. Eric Hosmer went number 3 to Kansas City, and he's turned into a good player. Yep. This ball to right. Cargo is over there. Brian Matus went number 4 to Baltimore. And then Posey went number 5 to the Giants. Could make an argument, pretty good one, that Posey would go number 1.
He was a Golden Spikes winner that senior year, or his last year, I should say, in college at Florida State.
Pirates took Garrett Cole in the supplemental portion of that round, but then they didn't sign him though, because Cole eventually, talking to Doug right now, Cole eventually went 1-1. Sure that was Garrett Cole? That wasn't Garrett Cole in 08. Hunter Pence takes a strike.
Garrett Cole was 2011.
Yeah, he was 1-1. He was first pick in the draft.
2011.
I love when we trip up, Doug. Find a rare error in this game. Well, you know, Cole went out of high school that year. I stand corrected, Doug. But did not sign. Out of Orange Lutheran High School in Orange, California. Doug,
look at that big smile on Doug's face.
So happy now.
He's still beaming over the Jake Peavy interview he had today that ran on the pregame show.
Runner going, fouled off. Doug did a great job. That was a fun interview, and if you missed it, I'm sure we're going to show it again. In all seriousness, Doug, being our music aficionado and now BFFs with Jake Peavy. Doug also a resident deadhead. There you are. He's more modestly dressed today.
Doesn't have his Grateful Dead.
You know, they were talking about the guitar. Jerry Garcia's guitar. This ball's well hit right center. We'll get back to that. This is off the top of the wall. Around third, Tomlinson. He gets a green light. He'll score. And that's the 3rd double of the ball game. 3rd run scoring double of the ball game for Hunter Pence. And it's 8-2 Giants.
That ties a team record with their 8 double. They've done it 9 other times. The last time was August 25th, 2000.
It is also their 17th hit, which matches a season high. They threw out 17 hits on April the 7th against the Dodgers. Brandon Belt has 2 doubles today and 2 RBIs. Giants have scored in 5 different innings. 33 hits the last 2 days. Anyhow, just to finish that note on Dougie's interview with Jake Peavy, he's quite a musician. We're talking about that he had an opportunity, the guitar, the Tiger guitar we were talking about yesterday from Jerry Garcia, and Doug asked him in the interview, did you ever play it? And he said, no. He said, and I just felt like that's not my place. He said, just like if somebody handed me one of Babe Ruth's old bats, I wouldn't go take BP with it. It's just a respect thing.
That was a great response from Jake Peavy.
Yeah.
No, but that was
yeah, he held it,
just didn't
coddled it, just didn't.
And didn't, you know what? And didn't drop it.
Didn't drop it.
Didn't drop it.
You and I wouldn't have been allowed to hold it.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to hold it.
No.
Just for that reason. What if it just slips out of my hand?
Yeah. 1-2 on Belt. Now, Peavy's a fun guy. Former Cy Young winner in 07, but his 07 season didn't end as he would have liked. Started game 163 right here in this ballpark. One of the great games ever played. Strikeout of Belt will end the inning. Pence doubles in Tomlinson, who was hit by a pitch to begin the inning, and it's 8-2 San Francisco. Cargo to lead it off. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By StubHub, looking for great seats, head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the Colorado Rockies. And by Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on. Storm clouds in the distance. The Giants offense has been storming the Rockies the last 2 days. 33 hits, 18 runs. Rockies down by 6. Cargo against Osich in tight, ball 1. Took them deep yesterday. Give the Rockies that 5-4 lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wish we could have stopped the game there. Two-0. Cargo, a base hit in the 3rd. He now has a 7-game hitting streak. Average at 295. And it may go up. Look at that thing go. Wow. I think Josh Osich is done facing Carlos Gonzalez. That's not a good matchup for him.
No, because 2 for 2 now with 2 bombs that are totaling close close to 900 feet worth of distance.
When you hit a ball, and that's extreme right center field, it's more center than right. Denard's span didn't even move. Watch this thing.
And again, for Cargo, it's so effortless. He has a gorgeous swing, and then just the bat drop. This was off the back wall of the bullpen. That's how far he hit it.
And Huey, he may be starting to lock in on one of those runs we saw last year where he hits like, 6 home runs in 5 days, one of those deals. He's got 3 in his last 4.
And he's got it going on right now.
8-3, pitching change for the Giants. No smile, though, after this one. Look closer to the wrinkles. So Hunter Strickland now on, nobody out, and here's Nolan. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Bottom of the 8th inning. Cargo touched that baseball just a little bit, didn't he?
Oh, just a little bit. And now it's Hunter Strickland's time to come in. And you remember what happened yesterday between these two. Nolan took him off the wall in right center field.
Try to pass along the distance on that home run when we have it.
We're waiting for that ball to stop because it's still going to Fort Collins.
That was a blast. This one is going to hook into the seats. 1-2. Cargo's 8th home run of the year.
.4-mile-an-hour fastball from Josh to Cargo. And
That's
it went
tough
out
on lefties.
Yeah, but it went out of. I'd like to see the exit velocity. That's what I'd like to see. Got to be over 100, at least 110 miles an hour off the bat.
I would agree. It was at least that. We'll know tomorrow. Make a play, Huey.
No, too far out. I'm not going to lean over.
Two hops to Duffy. That'll bring up Gerardo Parra, an 8-3 ball game. Rockies have been out hit 17-7. Chris Russ and Johnny Cueto, and unfortunately for Chris, he was hit hard again by the Giants.
Yeah, and it kind of started early for him today, and it's one of those cases where he's been better coming out of the bullpen than he has been starting this year. I mean, the numbers point to it. Now it's today for Chris. It was, I mean, everything was there. Velocity, there was no difference there. It was just the location. He missed the location too many times today.
And he has to be really fine with it.
Yes, he does.
When you're a 88 to 90 guy, you got to be really, really fine, and probably in any day and age, but particularly this day and age. And when Chris is good, we've seen him throw complete games before here at Coors Field.
And against these Giants last year.
Yep.
September 3rd.
And I thought, Huey, early, Johnny Cueto, as good as he is, as good as he's been, was somewhat vulnerable today.
He wasn't on top of his game like we saw earlier this year when he pitched here. The 8+ innings, 0 runs, 8 hits. There's a couple plays, the Parra one where he gets thrown out at third, and then Trevor hits the home run, and that's a play in this game. The other one was the line drive double play out with the bases loaded. And you only get 1 run out of that whole sequence of events.
And not picking on the pitching side of things, but Hugh, you've been in that dugout where when you throw up some zeros on the other side, you can get some offensive momentum, and it works the other way too. When you feel like, man, they keep nicking us. Yeah, we got it wrong. We had traffic, but then they just put another 2 up there, and the game's going the other way. And that affects the offensive side of things, doesn't it?
It does. And people will ask me, is there really that much momentum shift in the dugout? Yeah, you can. You feel that. If you get a couple shutdown innings from your pitcher when you score a run, that's great. On the flip side, if the other team scores a couple runs, I'm sure Bruce Bochy's saying, well, let it get us 1 back here. And that's really what the Giants did today, is they answered a lot of the time when the Rockies scored. Like the Giants scored 2, Rockies scored 1 in the 2nd inning, but in the 3rd inning they throw up a 3 spot.
You can't keep trading runs or working at a deficit. 8-3 as Reynolds fouls that pitch off. Mark walked in the 4th inning, 0 for 2 otherwise. Cheer for somebody made a catch up there in the stands. Do have a distance now for you on the Cargo's home run. 456 feet.
456.
Outside. The home run he hit yesterday, I'm guessing, had to be 430, 440, right?
Doug's looking that up for us right now because I want to see what the total between those 2 home runs. Josh is going to.
I already have the total.
Oh, you have the total?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really far. It's tied for the 2nd longest home run by a Rocky this year. Nolan hit one 462 off James Shields back on April the 10th. 1-2 on Reynolds. He can hit him far. 2-2. Also, we were talking about Casey McGee. He's still playing. He's in AAA with the Tigers. He's in Toledo, and he's doing just fine. He's hit 294 for the Mudhens. 3-2. Trevor Story on deck, hoping for a chance to hit here in the 8th. Fouls that pitch off.
It's number 7 of this at bat for Mark.
Mark's strikeout rate at 25.8 this year is the lowest of his big league career. And the minute I say that, he strikes out. I apologize, Mark. Home run in the inning from Carlos Gonzalez. Rockies trailing 8-3 as we go to the ninth.
Marker on the board, if you will, for the Rockies. It's 8-3 as we go to the ninth with that home run. Mark Stout and Corey Sullivan. Drew just said it. Last 2 days, 33 hits, 17 runs.
Yeah, and most importantly, they had 20 base runners today. Anytime a team like the Giants has that many opportunities to knock guys in, they're going to score a lot of runs.
And we're going to go over it on the Toyota post-game show, which comes your way after the game as we get back up to the booth to Drew and Jeff, guys.
All right, fellas, thank you. It'll be Brandon Crawford in the top of the ninth inning. Second inning of work for Miller. Justin last inning hit Kelby Tomlinson, and he got the next two hitters, but then Hunter Pence had his third double of the ball game. 3 ribbies today for Pence. Crawford, Blanco, and then probably a pinch hitter. Fastball at 92 misses away, ball 1. Crawford 2 for 4. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The pinch hitter looks like it'll probably be Jared Parker. And out in the bullpen, it's George Contos.
Yep, looks like Contos will throw the bottom of the ninth. Crawford got under this one just enough that Cargo's going to have a play. We have some good news for you from down under. It's been all good news this year for the Rockies, especially when it comes to all those good arms that are not all that far away. Jeff Hoffman threw last night, another great outing, Huey. 7 innings, 5 hits, just a couple of runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. He has been dominant in the PCL.
Yeah, still a sparkling ERA.
Kyle Freeland, another strong outing, 7 innings for him, couple runs on 8 hits, walked 1, struck out 4 for the left-hander out of TJ. Antonio Senzatella made his second start since coming off the DL. As you look at Blanco and Senzatella, this was earlier today. Senzatella went 5 2/3, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, didn't walk anybody, 4 strikeouts. Very mature young man. He's got a ton of ability. And Tyler Anderson coming back from injury. He's a AA earlier, and in his second start at AAA level. Actually, that was his first start at AAA level.
6 innings, 5 hits.
Just a run.
Right. And go back to AA for a moment. You know, we ran into some people down, you know, when we were in Boston, and they were talking about they're still playing all their games on the road. They have not opened up their ballpark in Hartford. So for these guys, it's a growth moment for them.
They've rented stadiums
Catcher's interference real quick on the swing of Gregor Blanco.
Hit Tony Walter's glove.
And David Dahl, 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs.
He leads the Eastern League in home runs.
Yeah, but to finish that, for them, this has been a 2-month road trip, playing all these games for Hartford. So these guys are getting their first, some of them their first taste in AA, but also not playing at home, no home ballpark.
Yeah, I give Darren Everson a lot of credit. He's the skipper for the Yard Goats. We got to see him in Boston. This ball smoked at DJ. I got it. There's one, and there's 2. Jared Parker says I can't hit it any better, but he hit it at LeMahieu, and it turns into a 4-6-3. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies trailing by 5 against the Giants. The Rockies trailing 8-3 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Trevor Story's going to lead it off. Here's our CenturyLink link to what's next. What's next is the Reds will be here for 4 games before the Rockies go back on the road. Dan Straley, Chad Bettis tomorrow afternoon on Memorial Day. We're on the air at 1:30 right here on Root Sports. And then 3 night ball games. John Gray, Tyler Chatwood, Eddie Butler. So the Rockies try to get momentum going in their direction with the Reds coming in. Team that's been struggling. There's Chad. George Contos for the Giants.
One of the rare pitchers that did not see action yesterday, but he did on Friday night. Not a pretty line for him. 1 inning, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and a walk.
Story a home run back in the 2nd, and then a couple of strikeouts. 1 swinging, 1 looking. One thing I've noticed with Trevor is that he gets in upside down counts quite a bit. There's a lot of 0-1 counts on Story.
He wants to try to gauge the pitcher, so he'll take that first one. I think pitchers are taking advantage of that. Just ambush him a few times, and then that changes.
Yeah, I had that conversation with Charlie Blackman. Charlie's a leadoff guy. Charlie's one of the more patient hitters, rarely swings at the first pitch. He said, but if I notice a trend, and I think pitchers, as you said, Huey, you're taking advantage of that. He said, I'm going to fire at a couple of first pitch, get them over fastballs. So they now have to think before they do it.
Right, so they have another column in their book in what you do at the plate. It's good news that Keith Duggar, Walt Weiss coming out to check on Trevor after fouling that ball off his leg.
Strikes out Story, third time today. He's gone down. Now to bring up Tony Walters. Tony is single in the fourth, 1 for 3. Here's the 0-1 on Walters. Two and one.
On deck is Daniel Descalso. So weather still looks like it's trying to creep in.
Two and two. Bounce to second. Daniel Descalso with 2 outs in the ninth will pinch hit for Justin Miller.
Pinch hitting for the Rockies in place of the pitcher Miller, number 3, Daniel Descalso.
Daniel started the final ball game in Boston, went 2 for 4, scored a couple runs. So the Rockies won 8-2. Contos, former Northwestern University star, same school that produced, among others, Joe Girardi, former Rocky and longtime skipper of the Yankees.
It's Joe's 9th or 10th year for the Yankees.
Talk about tenure with one team. He's right near the top of the list. Obviously Bochy with the Giants. Mike Scioscia is the guy with the most tenure. That sliced through the left side. Base hit for Descalso.
Stay hot,
Daniel. He swung it since he came off the shelf.
Yeah, 6 for 12. And now 2 for 4 pinch hitting.
I'll bring up Blackman. Charlie faced Contos on Friday, grounded to second. 0-1. And Scioscia's been with the Angels now 17 years.
Wow.
Been there so long, Huey was a player still. Boch is number 2, 10 years, and then Girardi 9 years. Sid?
Bochy's just one of 10 managers that have won 3 World Series titles. The other 9, they're in Cooperstown.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing to me. The two guys that are next on the list, it just seems like it was a couple years ago they took those jobs. Ned Yost now 7 years with the Royals. 7 years. You remember when he was with Milwaukee. And Buck Showalter, 7 years with Baltimore. Rockies will go to Camden Yards a little later on in the summer. 2 strikes on Blackman. Home runs today, solo home runs for the Rockies. One from Trevor Story, one from Carlos Gonzalez. Not much else. This ball's well hit right center field. Pence back to the wall, and he'll make the catch. And that will end the ball game. The Giants win it 8-3. 8 runs on 17 hits today. And with their victories on Saturday and Sunday, they take this 3-game set. And the season series is now tied at 5 apiece. The Giants improved to 32-20, best mark in the NL West. The Rockies fall 3 games under 500, 23-26. Johnny Cueto is the winning pitcher. He's 8-1. Chris Russin takes the loss. He's 1-3. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Hunter Pence. It was doubles galore for the Giants, and Hunter Pence had 3 of them. And each one drove in a run for San Francisco. Pence providing the delivery of the game in the 8-3 victory for the Giants. Let's go to center field. The Toyota postgame show commences now. Here's Mark and Corey.
All right, thank you, Drew. Well, Walt Weiss was saying that the Rockies are kind of through the tough stretch now. It wasn't so great at home here against the Giants, but we'll talk about it coming up.
Yeah, they'll be happy to have them on the plane in Cincinnati coming in.
The Toyota postgame show comes your way next.